Live from the National News Studio, Sri Lanka.
Good evening. This is the National News Telecast. I'm Moving Head Tiarachi.
A very good evening to you. I'm Sharita Tahir. Let's take a look at the headlines.
The 2023 GCE Ordinary Level Examination will be conducted in the May of next year. The bank sector remains stable and the benefit of the reduced interest rate to be passed on to the general public. The President states that it is up to the intelligent community to decide upon whether to leave the country or not in the face of challenges. Another award for the national television. India faces floods.
We now move on to those and other stories in detail, taking a look at local news first. The Department of Examinations says the 2023 GCE Ordinary Level Examinations will be conducted in May of next year.
The department says it has been compelled to postpone the holding of the Ordinary Level Examination as well due to the postponement of the Advanced Level Examination. The 2023 GCE A-Level Examination is scheduled to be conducted between the 4th and the 31st of January next year. Commissioner of Examinations Amit Jayasundara says that as a result, conducting of the O-Level examination was also compelled to be delayed. Commissioner of Examination Amit Jayasundara said that the O-Level examination was originally planned for the March of next year and the A-Level examination scheduled for the November of this year. However, the postponement of the A-Level examination till the January of next year, O-Level examination will be held in May. Relevant timetable of the GCE A-Level examination would be obtained from the official website of the Department of Examinations from tomorrow. 342,833 applications have already been received for the forthcoming A-Level examination. Those who have not yet applied have been given the opportunity to do so online till the 10th of next month. The Department of Examination also says that all arrangements are being made to conduct this year's Grade 5 Scholarship Examination on the 15th of this month. 337,956 student candidates have already forwarded their application for the examination to be conducted in 2,888 centres. President Ranil Wickremesinghe has attended the convocation of the Sir John Kothawala Defence University held at BMICH yesterday.
Addressing the graduates, he pointed out that in order to place the country on a competitive economic footing, the human resource of the country should be lined up accordingly. Highlighting the current economic challenges, the President has encouraged graduates to reflect their choices, that is whether to stay and contribute to Sri Lanka or explore opportunities abroad. He urged them to envision a better Sri Lanka and contribute to its growth, leaving the final decision in the hands of the graduates. 245 graduates were conferred degrees on this occasion. The ceremony, attended by key officials including Minister of State for Defence Pramita Bandara Tennakon, Senior Advisor to the President on National Security and Chief of Staff to the President Sagala Ratnayaka, Secretary to the Ministry of Defence General Kamal Gunaratne, Chief of Staff of the Tri-Forces General Shavendra Silva, Army Commander Lieutenant General Vikum Liyanage, Chancellor of the Kothawala Defence University Retired General SHS Kottegoda, Vice Chancellor Rear Admiral Dhammika Kumara and other officials.
The experience you have had in the last 2 years is shattering. We in Sri Lanka have never gone through that experience. We come very close to it, but never gone through it. And bankruptcy, shortage of food, riots are certainly not indicators of a country that you would like to live in for the future. So many are wondering, are we to stay or are we to go? In this background, as I said, I can't blame anyone for thinking we want to go. But all of you want a good future. First in your country, and if you can't find in your country, in another country. And the fact that you are thinking of going is also an admission that we, who are responsible for you, had failed in the last few years. After the experience of last year, we are now on the road to stability. It is not an easy road. Going from bankruptcy to stability is certainly not easy. You have to decide what you are going to have and what you are going to give up. You have to come again decide that you are solvent enough, decided not only by you, by your creditors. So we are going through that period. How do we increase our revenue? At the same time, how do we reduce inflation? Those are really two difficult objectives to do at the same time. So there are times when the economy looks good and your pockets are all right, and other times when things become difficult. We have to go through this period. We have to go through this uncertain phase. But as we go along, we are reducing inflation down to a single digit. We are increasing the performance of the economy, that we hope by end of this year, we will no longer be in deficit. As the economy goes, as GDP goes, for the first time, we will break even. So 2024 will be the year we will restart growth. Till that, it's going to be difficult. As you restart growth also, life is not going to be easy. But it means we are now on the road to recovery. But it is very clear that we can't go back to what we were. Neither economically, neither socially, nor politically. Economically, I think we have lost every race. When I was born, we were second to Japan. When I became a minister, Korea was ahead of us. And now, when I was a Minister of Industries, the Minister of Industries from Vietnam came and asked me how to get foreign investment. Now, I'll have to go and ask him how to get foreign investment. So, we have allowed everyone to overtake us.
In the meantime, the Governor of Central Bank of Sri Lanka, Dr. Nandalal Veerasinghe, says the Sri Lankan banking sector is stable. He added that accordingly, the benefit of reducing policy interest rates will be passed on to the general public. An agreement has been reached with the government with the aim of stabilizing the inflation at 5% level.
Under the Central Bank Act, we have a commitment agreed with the government to maintain inflation at 5% over a medium to long term period. Under that, now as you can see, current inflation 1.3% is below the range that we have to maintain medium to long term. This we all understand. The reasons are mainly 12 months ago we had almost 70% inflation and came down sharply in the disinflation process, continue for last several months, starting from last September, then continue, and now we have come to a almost, in our view, end of the disinflation process, now stabilizing and come to a lowest point of 1.3% last month. But we can expect under normal circumstances, the trend can obviously, we can expect that trend to turn around and settle over a period of time around our target range between 4 to 6, around 5% medium. So that's a normal circumstance that we can expect. On top of that, what we mentioned here, when you make the monetary policy decision, monetary policy board, look at carefully our inflation projections based on short-term factors that can have some kind of a little higher than inflation expected than our normal circumstances, mainly because of what we are seeing, cost recovery pricing mechanism. We have seen already last month petrol diesel prices were adjusted and the gas prices also adjusted. And looking at the outlook for petroleum and energy products, I think we see global markets price remain high and still there's a talk about going to $100 a barrel. So if that's going to be the case, we can expect the adjustment under the cost recovery pricing formula, the energy and utility prices. That if we factor that in, plus in the coming budget, if the government is going to, for the fiscal policy, going to basically broad base the taxes or some tax measures could also have some impact if that happens. That's why we just want to share with you the inflation path compared to, if you can remember, earlier inflation path was going like further decline, but there could be a turnaround from this month onwards. Just want to share with you in advance. This could be an inflation outcome in next. So that is not necessarily because of the monetary conditions. It's because of the kind of one-off or some administrative price adjustments reflecting cost recovery pricing, and that those adjustments monetary policy can't do much. But from the monetary policy point of view, we still don't see a significant demand factor kicking in. As a result, still there is a slack in the overall aggregate demand. and economy is growing below the potential. That's why if inflation target is 5% and current policy rate is 10 to 11%, we still see the excess space for us to relax monetary policy further. But depending on the inflation expectations and some short-term changes, we probably will look at it carefully before we make any decision going forward. So that's where in the next monetary policy review, before that, we will closely monitor inflation outcomes. Our commitment obviously to maintain inflation around 5%, we certainly will be able to maintain. On that basis, we will make our monetary policy decisions. On top of that, other areas we are seeing balance of payment situation improving, fiscal moving in the right direction. So we hope that will continue in the same direction. And also we will make progress on the electric restructuring. DDO already completed. External electric restructuring, we are hoping that we should be able to make good progress in the near term. With that, I think we have a positive expectation on growth side, and ability to maintain inflation, and also to bring down interest rates further.
Fitch Ratings has affirmed stability in its ratings on 15 Sri Lankan banks. 14 of them have been removed from rating watch negative and assigned stable outlooks. The Fitch has also affirmed the national long-term ratings of the banks, removed them from RWN and assigned stable outlooks. The listed banks are Bank of Ceylon, People's Bank, Commercial Bank of Ceylon, Hatton National Bank, Sampath Bank, National Development Bank, Ceylon Bank, TFCC Bank, Nations Trust Bank, Pan Asia Banking Corporation, Union Bank of Colombo, Amana Bank, Sanasa Development Bank and Housing Development Finance Corporation Bank. And the Fitch has also affirmed Cargill's Bank Limited national long-term rating. President Ranil Wickremesinghe says Sri Lanka is following several strategies on the national level to face the challenges that have arisen due to climatic changes. He has pointed out that Sri Lanka is in the process of formulating a national biodiversity strategic action plan and a national environmental plan. The President has further stated that the geopolitics and rivalries of the world powers come to second place in finding solutions to environmental problems. The President has made these observations addressing the 5th Forum of Ministers and Environment Authorities in Colombo today. International representatives including Vice President and Head of the Environmental Department of Iran, Ali Salah Jageh, is also attending the conference. President Ranil Wickremesinghe has delivered the keynote address at the inaugural session.
Mr. Firas for the ambassador of this in the coming months. Now, some just a few.
Good privilege to address the 5th Forum of Ministers of Environment.
Agenda and the draft annotated provision.
Of the ministerial segment.
Is excluded.
Excellency, Mr. Ranil Wickremesinghe.
The buttons.
Honorable President of Sri Lanka.
Damaged ecosystems.
Incoming president of the 7th session.
The parties to the Montreal Protocol.
Humanity is facing an existential threat. The interlinked and cascading effects of climate change, biodiversity loss and pollution, the triple planetary crisis, are demanding a heavy toll on individuals, communities and threatening life on our planet. Sri Lanka is in the process of renewing National Biodiversity Strategic Action Plan 2016 to 22 to achieve the objectives of the Kunming-Montreal Global Diversity. I have instructed the Ministry of Environment to formulate a national policy on living entities to conserve pristine ecosystem. My government will enact a new Climate Change Act and a National Environment Act to address the triple planetary crisis in the context of new knowledge and practices. We are starting our transition to a green economy. The ability of global leaders to cooperate and provide a coordinated response to existential challenges such as climate change is missing in a scenario dominated by great power rivalries, geopolitical interests, and in many cases domestic politics. What is missing is the money on the table, leadership and action. Therefore, we in Asia Pacific and others in the global south will need to galvanize alternative leadership mechanism. What is crucial is that geopolitics and great power rivalries take a second place when it comes to addressing climate issues such as climate change and global environment degradation. We need a climate justice forum to ensure that the countries least responsible for climate change do not bear a disproportionate share of the loss. We need to raise our collective voice and say, let's get done with this.
The assistant guards of the railway have concluded their trade union action reporting sick leave following a successful discussion with State Minister of Transport Lasantha Alagiyawanna this afternoon. The railway passengers have been subjected to immense difficulties as a result of the strike action of the railway assistant guards since yesterday. As a result, many train cancellations and delays have been reported. The security officer who was alleged to have assaulted an assistant guard of railways has been indicted and police are conducting further investigations. The Department of Railways has also appointed a 3-member committee for an internal investigation.
Raising a question of privilege in Parliament today, State Minister Diana Gamage said that parliamentarian Ranjit Madhumabandara has insulted her. State Minister Diana Gamage said that SJB member and General Secretary of the party Ranjit Madhumabandara has conducted a speech in Parliament using obscene words against her. She added that she had made an accusation against the parliamentarian, stating that he was the cabinet minister in charge of law and order during the time of the Easter attack. The State Minister has added that she has in her possession the letter dated 19th May 2018 sent to him by Officer Nilantha Jayawardena. She further said instead of making a clarification on this issue, the MP has insulted her using indecent language.
President Ranil Wickremesinghe has instructed officials to provide speedy relief for masses affected by floods in Mathura district. The President has informed they remain vigilant of the plight of the other districts facing floods threats. The President was engaged in a discussion at a meeting with Minister Kanchana Wijesekara at the Mathura District Secretariat yesterday to decide on the measures to be taken to extend relief to the residents of Mathura district subjected to emergency disaster. The President has further ordered to obtain the assistance of 3 armed forces in the program to provide cooked food, medicine and other essential facilities to the flood victims. The security forces have also been instructed on the measures to be taken to consolidate the security of the masses in an event of a further escalation of the flood situation. 9,448 persons belonging to 2,350 families in 16 divisional secretariat divisions in Mathura have been victimized by the torrential rainfall, flooding and strong winds and collapsing of soil mounds, boulders as well as trees. 399 houses were partially damaged. Community food processing centers have been set up in Malabar, Akurasa, Kumburia and Tahiragoda areas. The Kalu River is still in state of overflowing. As a result, several locations in Bulat Sinhala, Dilagahamuna and in Kalthara Main Road have remained inundated this morning. Several roads in Galle Town were under water this morning due to heavy rains slashing since last night. Vehicle transport was severely hampered due to the flooding situation. The Department of Meteorology predicts intermittent showers accompanied with thunder would continue in many districts island-wide. The meteorology report further points out that a decline in rainfall is expected after the 7th of this month.
Our very own English news anchor of the national television, Charita Minipurarashi, was adjudged as the best communicator of the year at the 2023 New Generation Award Festival in Colombo recently. And we at Channel I, the news team, would love to congratulate him on his achievement. The New Generation Awards ceremony was conducted for the 4th occasion. The ceremony extends awards for those who excelled in special skills in several divisions in the media sector. Accordingly, the national television received an award for the best communicator.
Charitha Minipura Arachi. Charitha is an English news anchor and presenter, an attorney at law of the Supreme Court. He's also a compare and voice artist. He has an Ayurveda medical degree and a management degree specializing in marketing. He volunteers for several social initiatives and conducts media workshops as well. Congratulations to the TV presenter of the year. This is Charitha Minipura Arachi from the Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation.
Prime Minister Dinesh Gunawardena says that there should not be any delays in providing necessary facilities to the upcountry Tamil community. He made these remarks at a ceremony held in connection with the commemoration of 200 years since the Tamil community from India arrived in Sri Lanka. Prime Minister Dinesh Gunawardena further said that it is the process of extending housing, education, health and infrastructure facilities to the upcountry Tamil population that should be expedited. A logo of the new committee was also unveiled on this occasion. The Prime Minister has further stated that the government will take the necessary measures to consolidate the rights of the Tamil community. Minister Jeevan Thondaman, Governor Senthil Thondaman and state officials were also present at the occasion.
Minister Nimal Siripala De Silva says that necessary steps will be taken to extend facilities to air passengers and to provide them an efficient service. He made these remarks in Parliament today. Minister Nimal Siripala De Silva said that in the last meeting with the pilots, they warned that the actions could cause shame to the country and destroy the image. He added that these actions would also result in disruption of aviation services in the country. Therefore, the minister requested them to consider the welfare of passengers who are booked to travel on the airplanes. He said that he got information that trade union actions have been called off and has informed about this to the chairman of Sri Lankan Airlines. The minister added that he has summoned few airplane companies and requested them to bring more air tours to Sri Lanka so that the country would be benefited.
The Urban Development Authority has commenced a series of medical clinics with the objective of providing solutions to the health problems of the people living in communal housing schemes. The program is being conducted in parallel to the National Habitat Week. All Ayurvedic and Western medical clinics are being conducted free of charge. The first Ayurveda clinic was organized for the residents of the Muadora Uyana in housing complex in Colombo 15. The Muadora Uyana is a housing complex comprised of 872 houses. The special program has been also commenced for flood control in human habitats in Colombo district. The Land Reclamation Corporation under the Ministry of Urban Development and Housing has been allocated a sum of 595 million rupees by the Treasury according to a request by Minister Prasanna Rantunga. The project envisaged a reconstruction of the main canal system in Colombo City extending a distance of 44 kilometers. The garbage blocked in the canals creates floods even in minor rainfall, inundating many roads and residential areas. A program to educate apartment dwellers in connection with the World Habitat Day was also held at Maligawa, the housing scheme, yesterday. Female elephant Sita, subjected to a shooting attack, was brought to a location near the Faculty of Veterinary Science in Peradeniya today.
It was after 6 days of the attack that the elephant was shifted to a different location with the permission of the judiciary. A surgery was performed on the elephant yesterday to detect the pieces of the bullets inside the body. The operation was carried out by a group of veterinary scientists of the Peradeniya University headed by Professor Ashoka Dangolla. Investigations have revealed that metallic parts were present in the body of the elephant. The Mahasangha, led by Chief Incumbent of the Mahiyangana Raja Mahaviharya, Venerable Urulewata Dhammarakita Thera, have extended blessings on the animal, which was brought under special police protection.
Former President Mahinda Rajapaksa has visited the Sri Naga Viharaya in Kotte this morning. He has called on Venerable Kotahena Narada Thera of the Viharaya and received blessings. Rajakiya Pandita Darshanapati Venerable Vaturavilla Sri Sujata Thera delivered the Anushasana. Thereafter, the Mahasangha chanted Setpirit to bless the former president. Parliamentarian Gamini Lekuke was also in attendance. We'll be back with foreign news after a short break. Now to foreign news, first a look at India. The death toll has risen to 14 in India's Sikkim flooding, and dozens are still missing after heavy rainfall caused the glacial Lonak Lake to overflow. Authorities reported that at least 26 people have been injured and 102 others, including 23 armed personnel, were reported missing. Sikkim has received 40.9 millimeters of rainfall between Tuesday and Wednesday this morning, and it is almost 5 times the normal rate for this time of year, according to the Indian Meteorological Department. Search operations for missing troops are underway. The damage was reported for more than 120 kilometers downstream, and about 22,000 people living in the vicinity are likely to be affected.
Over 75,000 union workers at healthcare provider Kaiser Permanente in the US have gone on strike, beginning the largest walkout by health workers in US history. The 3-day work stoppage involves nurses, pharmacists and lab technicians in 5 US states and Washington, D.C. Nearly 13 million patients could be impacted by the strike, which follows stalled contract negotiations between the unions and Kaiser Permanente. Hospitals and emergency facilities will remain open throughout the strike. Through the strike, the coalition of Kaiser Permanente Union hopes to pressure the California-based companies to address staffing shortages that began during the COVID-19 pandemic.
Now to sports news. Good news for Sri Lankan's athlete fans. Sri Lanka has won a gold medal in the athletic event at the Asian Games after 21 years. Youth athlete Tharushi Karunaratne has brought honour to the island by securing first place in the finals of the women's 800 meters event yesterday. President Ranil Wickremesinghe has extended congratulations on her victory.
Tharushi Karunaratne has expressed her views to the national television over her ability to bring credit to Sri Lanka by winning a gold medal. Tharushi Karunaratne said that she was so happy to receive this gold medal in the Asian Games this year. She said that she also extends her gratitude to her parents, coach and everyone who supported her to achieve this milestone. Competitors representing China, Japan and India have taken part in the 800-meter final event in Hangzhou, China. A Chinese athlete was ahead of the rest until the 700-meter of the running event. Tharushi was placed in the 3rd position until the end of the first 400 meters. However, she had gained strength in the final 100 meters and beat the Chinese and Indian athletes. Another Sri Lankan athlete took part in the event was Gayantika Aberatne. Tharushi Karunaratne has recorded a timing of 2 minutes 3.2 seconds. Tharushi was the youngest participant of the Sri Lankan team and also holds all local records in the 800-meter women's events. The 19-year-old athlete is a student of the Ratnayaka Central College in Kandy. She is studying for the GCE A-level examination. Her coach is Susanta Fernando. The last time Sri Lanka had gained a gold medal at an Asian Games was in the year 2002. In that tournament, Damayanti Darsha had won the gold medal in the women's 400-meter event and Susantika Jayasinghe won the gold medal in the 100-meter event. Meanwhile, the Parliament has congratulated Tarushi over her excellent performance. President Ranil Wickremesinghe has extended his best wishes to Tarushi Karunaratne through telephone this morning. The President has pointed out that a significant victory brings much pride to the country. He has also wished well for her future sports endeavours and expressed his intention to meet her upon return to the island.
And in cricketing news, the World Cup is underway right now. The inaugural match of the One-Day Cricketing World Cup between England and New Zealand is presently being played at the Narendra Modi Stadium in Ahmedabad. That's it for tonight's English News Telecast. Thank you for joining us. Good night.